Vast areas of rainforest and other types of vegetation we're destroying are treasure houses of plants like this. And once they're gone forever. Now, some of the plants the ancient herbal healers knew about, so they can point us in the right direction. But the others await discovery. In there may be vital information which one day could save your life.
Of all this stuff is that locked away in these plants are wonderful chemicals that are novel, totally surprising, and yet will act as starting points, we believe, for some drugs of the future.
To speed the vital work, this robot machine tests dozens of plant samples at a time. A simple colour change may signal the breakthrough the world is waiting for.
Well, of course, because it can be quite dramatic from, say, a yellow to a red, it's very visual, and especially in, say, a new assay that's been recently developed, perhaps we haven't had.
This is a greenhouse the public don't see. What goes on in here?
Well, we have several behind the scenes where we grow plants for our research purposes. This is just one of them where we grow tropical and subtropical plants. And there are a couple of groups which use this, including the anatomy section here in the Jodrell and molecular biosystematics. We have a number of plants here we're looking at in biochemistry for plants which have potential as anti-HIV compounds.
So AIDS, so everyone's going to be interested, though. I mean, the papers are full of it. What plant are you looking at?
That's right. Well, this is one plant we've been working on. It's Castanospermum australe, the Moreton Bay chestnut.
Now, I've seen this one growing as a roadside plant in the middle of Sydney.
That's right. It has very decorative flowers, which is why it's grown as a street plant. And our initial interest in this was that it was known to be toxic to livestock, but no one had been able to find the toxic principle in it. And when we were sent some by a researcher in the CSIRO about 10 years ago, because we had expertise in a particular group of compounds, we were soon able to find it actually contained very high levels of an alkaloid, which other groups had missed. And it wasn't until a few years later that HIV and AIDS became known, and then it became clear that this compound also had some potential as a way to combat the HIV virus.
And is it all over the plant?
Yes, this compound was initially found in the seeds, but in fact it occurs in all parts of the plant, including the bark and the roots.
So it's a black bean. Have we got one of the beans?
Yes, well, in fact, this is one of the pods here.
It's a real ball bean. Right. Right. Oh, you see why it's called a chestnut,
That's right. That's right. Well, the early settlers thought it reminded them of the chestnuts in Europe, actually, which is why it got the name chestnut, even though it's actually a different family.
You better carry on with your work, but can I borrow the bean?
Yes, certainly, as long as you look after it for us.
Of course I will.
Right.